Over the past few years, Timex has evolved into a go-to brand for affordable homages to iconic luxury watches. Today, they've knocked it out of the park with a new dive watch that's as stylish as it is budget-friendly. First, let's dive into this latest release, then take a closer look at Timex's really interesting journey since 2019. This transformation began with the Pepsi-bezeled Q-Timex GMT a few years back. A model clearly inspired by Rolex's GMT Master, and in recent months with models that take after the Zenith, El Primero, Cartier Tank, and more. Now the brand is at it again with their latest affordable dive watch, the Deepwater Reef 200 XCF. One look at that wavy dial, and it's pretty clear where the designers at Timex got their inspiration from for this one. The dial on the new Deepwater, with its deep engraved wave patterns, is very reminiscent of the iconic Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters. The Seamaster's dial is made of laser engraved ceramic, while the Timex is of course less fancy. It does look very similar to Omega's dial, but at a more attainable price. So if that's the look you're going for, Timex does have you covered. It's not just the dial texture that takes design cues from the Seamaster. The indices also look very similar, with the exception of a triangle marker replacing the Seamaster's dual bars at 12 o'clock. And even the markings on the bezel insert are very similar. But once you move on from the Omega-inspired bezel and dial, the Deepwater Reef 200 XCF is very much its own watch. Most drastically different is the case, which Timex has crafted out of a type of carbon fiber it calls XCF, an abbreviation for extended carbon fiber. Timex says it's a lightweight and rugged composite made from a mixture of polycarbonate and carbon fibers. Notably, there's never been an Omega Seamaster 300M in carbon fiber, so kudos to Timex. It's also worth noting that the case is slightly larger at 43 millimeters, whereas on Omega it's 42, and also the water resistance is a little bit different. It's 300 on the Seamaster, whereas the Timex it's at 200 meters. The XCF has plenty of protection though, thanks to its screw-down crown and caseback. And how many of us really need that extra 100 meters of water resistance rating? The movement inside the new Deepwater Reef is a nondescript quartz movement, which is night and day from the in-house automatic coaxial master chronometer that drives Omega's watches. But that's several reasons why this watch costs 1/20th of the price of Omega. Since it is quartz, accuracy will be really incredible and probably just as good, if not better long-term, than Omega's caliber. The Timex does not include a bracelet option and does come equipped on a two-piece synthetic rubber strap in either black or blue that features quick-release spring bars and a clever buckle system that eliminates the need for keepers. I think it comes down to this. If you're in the market for an affordable dive watch with the looks of a Seamaster, this one's got your name written all over it. It's available now from Timex for $259. I think this watch is an absolute home run, and no doubt it'll move up the ranks as one of the best Timex watches in their catalog. What I really find interesting is how Timex has changed their positioning in the watch industry, and it reminds me a lot of the journey of Tudor. Prior to 2012, Tudor was known as the sister company of Rolex, and was rarely the brands watch enthusiasts would recommend or even consider. All that changed when they released the Black Bay, and now their catalog is filled with different sizes, colors, and functionality, and they're really one of the top dogs. Not that Timex is at Tudor's level, but they have also gone through a big evolution, appealing to a much wider audience. For so long, they were known for making digital watches and the Weekender. They have done a great job changing that conversation by releasing really cool two watches, by taking popular, familiar designs, and giving them some Timex flair. The Deepwater Reef is perhaps the most notable collection that really helped put Timex on the watchmaking map. They have released numerous iterations, including a GMT for tracking 2 time zones, a titanium version that has a really cool lightweight construction, and also a 43mm size for those with big wrists or just like a slightly larger watch. Aside from the Deepwater Reef collection, the Q-Timex line is what really started it all. 2019, the Timex Q was first launched, bringing back the brand's iconic 1970s watches with a stylish, retro twist. The series captures the nostalgia of the quartz revolution, offering affordable, vintage-inspired designs that has resonated with both watch enthusiasts and casual owners. There's been some awesome highlights from the lineup. The first was the original reissue, directly revived the 1979 Q Diver with its 38mm case, woven steel bracelet, and iconic Pepsi bezel. Then, the following year, Timex released the Falcon Eye, a dress watch featuring a striking blue sunburst dial and gold accents. A couple years later, we then saw the GMT with a rotating bezel and additional time zone tracking that is available in a variety of colorways, including Pepsi, Coke, and Batman. What makes Q-Timex so special, and recent Timex watches in general, all the models are mostly around $200 or less. They are super versatile with different functionality and colors, and captures the retro aesthetics with modern reliability. I think the most exciting and perhaps a little bit controversial release was the Deepwater Reef 200 in titanium. This is likely their best looking watch and continues to get sold out after each restock, so it's also likely their most popular watch. The $479 price did get mixed opinions. Clearly, many were willing to pay the price, while others felt it was far too much money for a Timex. Yeah, for a Timex. Not so much the specs or the looks, but simply because it's from Timex. And that is definitely a bit unfortunate. Their watches are not perfect, no watch is, and my Rolex sub has had plenty of issues, but out of all the Timex pieces I've owned throughout the years, I've never really had any difficulties. They are tried and tested, durable, accurate quartz movements, and really stylish designs. One of the strengths a lot of great watch brands have is heritage. Whether this be creating a first-of-its-kind movement or part of big historical moments like landing on the moon. Timex is definitely no slouch when it comes to heritage, dating back to 1854 when it was founded as the Waterbury Clock Company in Connecticut, originally producing affordable mass-market clocks. They have had some notable highlights, like in 1901 when Timex introduced the Yankee pocket watch priced at just $1, making timekeeping accessible to the masses. Then during the wartime, they transitioned from pocket watches to wristwatches, adapting their designs for soldiers on the battlefield. By the 1950s, they introduced the Timex brand, focusing on durable, reliable, and affordable timepieces. Their famous slogan, "Takes a lickin' and keeps on tickin'," became iconic thanks to the aggressive marketing campaigns that showcased the watches surviving extreme conditions. During the 60s and 70s, Timex dominated the U.S. watch market and expanded into digital watches during the Quartz Revolution. It was in 1986 when the Iron Man first debuted, and it revolutionized sports watches. Timex has really done a great job evolving and staying relevant throughout all these years, as we've seen different watch trends and technology. I suspect most of you watching this video have at one point in time owned a Timex, and it might just have been your very first watch. Timex really shines at making affordable renditions of luxury watches, and we've recently seen them take inspiration from Rolex, Zenith, and Cartier. It'll be interesting to see what big luxury brand is the next to help bring to life a new Timex watch. Perhaps we see a Timex Monaco, or a Timex Black Bay with snowflake hands and all. That's all for today. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.